Hello, beautiful people. My name is Fumibi Adibaye. I'm a lifestyle blogger, and entrepreneur. You're welcome to my channel.
Easy, easy.
Joining for the first time, you are very welcome. And if you've been here before, you are also welcome. Today, we'll be talking about developing responsible spending habits. Yes, if there is one thing that I know in this economy is that it's difficult to keep up with the bills, not to talk of you trying to save or even you trying to have something left for yourself. But I can tell you that it is possible. So today we'll be sharing some tips to make us, do things better and develop a responsible spending habit. Number one is have a plan. Okay, so many people, don't have a plan, don't usually have a plan when it comes to spending. They just kind of have the money in their wallet and they just keep spending. No concrete budget. So this is what I'm going to say. Have a plan, develop a realistic budget. You know what you want to buy, all those things that you need. Write them down. Make a research. Most of the time, sometimes when it comes to you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, some of those big things, make a research, do your research. Have a realistic budget, write them down, write the possible price that you think you can afford. Write it down. Have a plan of everything you need and you want. Number two is question your need and your wants. Your wants are those things that you can actually do without. Even sometimes the things that make your life a lot easier and more beautiful, but I can tell you that you can do without them. When your needs are those things that you can't do without. Those are your food, your clothing, your housing bills and all that. You can't do without all those. So those are your needs. Question your needs and your wants. After writing down your plan, I'm very sure you can be able to differentiate what your needs and your wants are in that plan. So you question them. Why do I really need this thing? Why do I really need to buy that latest gadget? Why do I really need to buy that latest car? Is it that your car is the one you're using is no longer functioning well or what? So why do I need it? That is it. You really need to ask yourself, do I really need it? Do I really need to go for it? Do I just want to follow the trend? I'm having you have an iPhone 8 and you're thinking, why do I really need to buy it? Do I really need to buy the iPhone 8? Do you really need it? If you know you can afford it to, fine. But if you know you're also struggling to keep up with the bills in this economy, my dear, I think you need to save your money. And let me say something about this. If you really want to develop a responsible spending habit, you need to be disciplined. That is it. That is one thing that is so paramount about having a responsible spending habit is discipline. If you're not disciplined, you cannot achieve your financial goals. Take it or you leave it. You need to make a conscious effort to be disciplined. I said something about questioning your needs and your wants. You should know those things that are truly important to you. That thing that you really need, that your family really needs is the housing bills, the tuition fees, the food, the clothing. Those are your immediate needs. Those are those things that you should really concentrate on. Especially now I'm talking about people that know that they're actually struggling with this economy, not people that have all the money to try. But even if you have all the money to try around, you can always caution yourself and save for the rainy day. Have a fantastic financial goal. Again, I'm going to say, give yourself an allowance. This goes to people who are actually basically CEOs. Most times CEOs, that nobody's actually paying them salary. They feel, oh, I'm making the money is coming in, it's my money, I'm not paying anybody, or nobody's paying. Or okay, let's say even if they have few staff, or let's just say nobody's paying them, they just dabble into the company's accounts, pick whatever they want to do and spend. No, I think you should give yourself an allowance. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're just coming up, try and give yourself an allowance. Don't just spend every penny that comes into the company's account. After giving yourself an allowance, then you can stick with this. And that is where this discipline is actually coming from. Again, if you're disciplined, you give yourself an allowance and you actually do what you stick with it. And again, I'm going to say avoid carrying your debit card everywhere. Now this goes to people who go shopping a lot. If you have a fixed budget, you already have your budget, you have it in your wallet, or let's say you go into the market with it. Now most times it happens that when you're carrying your debit card around, sometimes you feel relaxed to exceed your budget, and before you know it, you're already sticking your debit card into the POS machine. So you're back to square one. If you really want to discipline yourself, drop that debit card at home. Drop your card at home and go with that budget that you actually have, or maybe you just do a transfer to another card that that has the exact budget. If you start carrying that card around that has your every other savings that you have, you might end up spending more than you planned for. I really need you to think about that. I've had a lot of people complain, oh, I got to the market, I saw this, especially women. You already planned that you're buying just one blouse or one skirt. You get to the market, you just see that blue blouse, you see that green skirt, you see that yellow top, and you're like falling in love with everything. This happens to ladies a lot. You can actually discipline yourself. Keep those cards at home. Again, borrow sensibly. There are bad and there are good things. So you borrow sensibly. You don't just borrow because you need to. I don't know. People borrow unnecessarily. Sometimes to even impress. Like you're borrowing to go to the club. I don't understand. If you can't afford it, if you can't afford that life, then sit down in your house until you can afford it. It still goes down to discipline. If you are borrowing to invest in a lucrative business, it's a different case entirely. Then you can always work towards making that profit and returning that debt and paying back the debt. But if you are borrowing to live extravagantly or to just try to impress friends, I think you're going down the wrong and the dangerous road. So I'm saying discipline yourself. You don't have to borrow. If it's not so important, discipline yourself until the money, until your salary comes, or until they pay the bills. And again, I'm going to say savings. People spend, they save what is left after spending, and I'm going to say you spend what is left after saving. Make sure you have a fixed amount that you save. If you're a salary earner, no matter how small it is, just make sure you do something every month you save. I will say it again, no matter how small, you might think it's so small, why do I have to save this little, as 1,000 naira, as 2,000 naira, or as 50,000 naira? Make sure you save. Then after you save, then you can now say, okay, after this saving, this is what I have left, and this is what I can spend, this is what I can, use in having fun and all that. But make sure you save first. That is the most important thing. Save first. Don't follow the bandwagon. Don't if you have a lot of friends, let's say you have a lot of friends that are so rich and spend a lot, you can, if you cannot afford that kind of life for now, you can always withdraw until you have that kind of life. Then you can meet up with them, then you guys can flock again. If they are going to give you issues in your spending habits, you withdraw from them until you can actually afford that kind of life. It's not a do or die affair. It is not easy to actually achieve your financial goals, but I'm saying it is possible. So with what we've all said today, I think we should be able to do one or two things with our spending habits. And don't forget, the basic thing is be disciplined. The thing I have said right now, if you are not disciplined, you cannot achieve them. No matter how much people try to tell you or try to caution you on these things, if you are not disciplined, you cannot achieve. So you have to make a conscious effort of being disciplined about your savings and spendings. So thank you very much for joining me today. Don't forget to like my video and share and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. Thank you. Bye.
Easy.